Hi, welcome to a video made by a blind person. Yeah, too blind to care what the visuals look like. Hi everyone, well, I have done it. I have finally leaped into the confusing world of file formats and sound editing. And I mean, it's not overwhelmingly confusing. It's actually pretty exciting, but parts of it take more getting used to than other parts of it. I can't believe I'm just now finally getting into this after having this editing program for literally 2.5 years. Maybe not quite 2.5 years, but I mean, sometime in 2016, I heard about this editing program called Goldwave, and basically the information that I was getting was just because you're blind doesn't mean you can't make sound files and edit them together. You can edit sound files using an editing program. You don't need vision to do it, and you can do it through this program called Goldwave. Well, I had Goldwave downloaded onto my computer. At least I had a demo version of it downloaded onto my computer. To this day, I'm not sure I know how to download programs onto my computer, but fortunately, at the time I had access to someone that was able to do that. Anyway, I had this program on my computer, and then probably a combination of not wanting to learn it at the time, having things going on that meant more to me, like the job that I had at the time, etc., etc. Or just thinking, you know, what's wrong with the way I'm editing? You know, it's fine, it works. I just never wanted to take the time to learn Goldwave. I guess I wasn't motivated, I don't know. That changed a couple of days ago when I decided to learn how to use the internet in a way other than Internet Explorer. If you're still using Internet Explorer, there's nothing wrong with that necessarily. It's just that I don't know how long Internet Explorer is going to keep working. Well, I don't know how it is from a sighted perspective, but my particular screen reader, which if you don't know what a screen reader is, it's a program that reads out loud the screen. A must-have if you cannot see. This is turning into an Eyes Don't Work Wednesday /vlog/ just everything. Anyway, I guess the Internet Explorer program and the program that I use to read the screen, since I can't visually see it, apparently those two programs aren't working all that well together anymore. So the computer teacher at the Commission for the Blind and I decided, let's get me to the point where I know how to use internet browsers that are not Internet Explorer, because Internet Explorer is going to be going by the wayside eventually. So I go to my desktop, I hit G, one of two things is going to pop up, either Google Chrome or Goldwave. And when the one that I want pops up, I hit enter and open that program. But I was thinking, well, if Google Chrome and Goldwave are going to sit here like next to each other on the desktop, or I hit G and JAWS, my screen reader, is either going to say Google Chrome or Goldwave. Basically, if it's going to constantly remind me that I have this editing program that I never use, I might as well learn how to use it. Well, I got on the internet and tried to find a tutorial for Goldwave that is blind friendly, that speaks in terms of press this keyboard command versus hover your mouse just so right here and click. Well, I found the perfect tutorial, literally. This guy had or has a podcast site. I'm not sure if he's still doing the podcast or not, but I found his archive, and in his archive is this whole series on Goldwave. So I have not listened to the whole thing from beginning to end, but I certainly listened to the parts that I could tell were going to help me. And I'm in the process of editing together a vlog using Goldwave. That vlog is actually a combination of my two editing methods. I edited one file together using many little files that I've recorded throughout several hours. Then finished recording what was left of the vlog and edited that together using my two recorders. Then I came back to Goldwave and merged these two files into one. And I'm still in the process of editing it using Goldwave, like getting some of the pregnant pauses out of it, getting some of the things that just happen in one takes. Watch any of my Starbucks Saturdays. I'm sure you'll see plenty of those because those are one takes. Anyway, does it end up being longer? Maybe. But do I think it's going to be a better quality file? Yeah. And I've always said, pictures don't mean squat to me. Just because you're blind shouldn't mean you can't YouTube. But I've also said, I care what my videos sound like. I would like to create videos that I would want to watch. And I don't give a shit about pictures, but I care a lot about sound. So when I copy a file that's been copied already and copied, you can really kind of tell through the sound. It's a diminished sound quality, and I've never liked that. And then when I can't take a line-in mic and plug it directly into my iPhone's microphone, you can tell even more that the sound is not what I'd like it to be. So Goldwave, you can only have the demo version running for so long before it says, you got to stop me, and if you want to continue, you need to start me up again. You need to stop this, save your work, close me out, and start me over again, and I'll let you finish your work. I'm a demo version. I only last for so long before I cut you off. $45 is not a lot of money. Actually, that was one of the things that was kind of holding me back. Even though I had a job 2 years ago, I also regret to admit I was so deep in debt that any money that I really made, I couldn't really enjoy much of it because a lot of it went to paying down credit cards. I no longer have credit cards. I have debit cards that if the money's not there, I'm not going to be able to buy the impulsive thing anymore. Anyways, now that I've spent a good day with Goldwave, I have decided to invest the 45 bucks. 45 bucks, not 450. This is not a big investment. I can spare 45 bucks for the full version because that's how much I'm going to be using it. Especially if I decide to convert different sound files into MP3s. See, now we're getting into different kinds of sound files. And if I'm talking gibberish right now, I understand. The whole idea of using an editing program was kind of foreign to me until I watched someone use the program with the same screen reader that I use. And I realized, like heck, this is hard. This ain't hard at all. Let me try practicing it. And sure enough, it's awesome what you can do with it. But you can't work with an editing program for long without getting into the different file types. MP3, WAV, even MP4. And I always knew there were several file types out there for audio. There was M4A, there was WAV, there was MP3. But really, I prefer MP3, but as I get into this editing program, even though it supports MP3 and it will convert something to MP3, it seems that Wave is, I guess, the easiest thing for it to deal with at first. I mean, it's had to decompress MP3s, which I didn't think that was a problem, but even on the tutorial it said, keep that in mind. If you got an MP3 file or anything other than a WAV file, you'll need to have enough disk space to let Goldwave decompress that file. Well, I don't know how much disk space is required to do that, so I had thought, well, maybe I should switch to WAV. But my thing about WAV files is I'm not sure what the difference is in size, but WAV files are larger. Potentially much, much larger. And basically, I don't want to run out of memory. And I'll tell you what it really comes back to. If you're using cameras, you can use a tiny SD card with a lot of memory. There are 64 gig SD cards out there. There are 128 gig SD cards out there. But with my MP3 recorders, I don't think I can use that size SD card. They say in the manuals and tech support and everything else with these MP3 recorders, they say it supports up to 32 gig. And as much audio as I record, I'm like, okay, how long is a 32 gig gonna last? Especially if I always record in WAV. So I'm not quite sure what to do. I don't know whether to stick with MP3 and convert them to WAV and then save them, or keep them in MP3. I mean, I can work on a file and edit a file and keep it in MP3. Although I just read like an FAQ for Goldwave segment last night that said, don't do that. That's what I've been doing with this vlog. But I was reading this FAQ thing on, I believe it was Goldwave's website, and it said, don't do that. Always save it as a WAV file and then convert it to MP3 later. Okay, well, I'm going to be using the pants off of the file merge feature. So I could save, once I merge however many files into one, I can save that file as a WAV file, do all the work to it, and then convert it to MP3 so Tunes the Tube can take it, I guess. I just worry about disk space, because I don't know how big files are or how many files you can get onto 8 gigs or 16 gigs or 32 gigs. I certainly don't know how many WAV files you can get into said devices. And then there's the whole matter of MP4s. Never mind what I'm doing with MP4 files, but I've got quite the collection of MP4 files. And when I went ahead and looked at the size of that folder full of MP4s, it has some MP3s in it, but a lot of them are MP4s. That folder was freaking 30-some gig. I'm like, holy crap, no wonder I'm getting low on space. I mean, not dangerously low on space, but I'm noticing that 64 gig SD card got really tiny. And I was reading something that was not on Goldwave, and it said, if your MP3 player or your smartphone's getting full, you might want to convert MP4s to MP3s. They're a lot smaller. They might take a hit to sound quality, but they're a lot smaller. I'm going, well, we'll see how bad is in terms of audio quality, but if Goldwave can handle an MP4, I might just convert them to MP3s. That's a hell of a lot of converting, a hell of a lot of... I wish I would have learned more about... I had Goldwave when I was pulling together this MP4 folder. I just didn't know anything about it. I want to take a small MP4 file and convert it to an MP3 try to do that, see if Goldwave can even do that. And if it can, maybe see about doing that. Of course, the sad part is I get this huge learning experience, and I've got all kinds of big plans for Goldwave, and absolutely I'm buying a license so that it stops making me stop every handful of minutes to save and close down and reboot so it has another several minutes to work. But I'm going to have to send my computer back, you guys. It's not a serious problem. It's just, really, it's a problem that I only notice when I ask someone to look at my computer, which can sometimes happen. And when I ask somebody to look at the computer, I expect them to be able to look at the screen and tell me what's on the screen, not say, well, I can't see anything on the screen, it's totally blank, or I can't make out much because the monitor looks weird. I consulted with a trusted computer company. Don't get me started. I could go off. I'm getting constant phone calls from people claiming that there's something wrong with my computer and they need to help me fix it. No, you don't, you idiots. Yeah, there is something wrong with my computer, actually. It's an extremely minor problem, but there is something wrong with my computer. But I'm not going to use Sons of Bavarians to fix it. I'm going to people that are, first of all, in my state, in my country, people that the Commission for the Blind, who I trust that tech instructor. And she recommends this company. Therefore, I use this company. You guys can go take your fake tech support and put it where the sun don't shine and stop freaking calling me. Sorry, I just go off on that every time I... Anyways, I need to get that fixed, and I want to do it before the warranty runs out, which is going to happen in well, I still have 6 months, but why not get it taken care of now, get it over with? So what happened was I contacted the computer company. The company and I established that I am in fact going to have to send it back. And then that night I came home from work and before the end of the night kind of made up my mind, let me see if I can learn Goldwave. And I started learning Goldwave. I edited my first file. And I'm impressed with it. I'm going to edit all kinds of stuff, especially if it can handle MP4 files. That 30-some gig folder can get cut down to something so much smaller. I mean, it could anyway if I would take the MP4 file and edit it like I do every other file, like I have up until 2 nights ago when I really when I made up my mind to learn Goldwave if I could. I really do want to take a 4-minute file that's an MP4 and see what Goldwave does with it. Can it take it? Can it change it? Can it convert it? Can I do some work on it? Again, we're probably dealing with a lot of disk space here. We have M4A, save it as a new file, save it as WAV, do the work on it and convert it to MP3, or save it again, this time as an MP3. Granted, I have not yet gotten a Goldwave error message that said insufficient disk space to process this file. Okay, I just finally got that vlog finished. That was a pretty long vlog, so... And I had to, like I said, keep stopping and restarting Goldwave because it ran out of production on me, so... The two things caused it to take as long as it did, but... You know, I think it's true that there might be some sound loss or sound quality loss every time you save it as something that's not WAV. I think it still sounds pretty good. It's still good enough to put up there. But I'll probably experiment with doing, like, merging a bunch of files, saving the completed file as a WAV file first, doing all the work on it, and then saving it again as an MP3. See if there's any difference in the sound quality versus what there was in this last vlog that I just finished and is sitting on my computer right now waiting to be posted. I'm thinking I will wait to post these until I get my computer back. Especially when, without my computer, I can't... If you can do Tunes to Tube on your iPhone, I sure as heck don't know how. I mean, you have to upload these things from someplace, and they're not necessarily going to be on your phone. So, yeah, I think I kind of have to wait until... Now I understand how important it is for a YouTuber to have their computer. I feel like I'm turning into really a YouTuber now. And I won't lie, I hope that to that extent, my luck will actually change and I'll be able to get monetized again and maybe even bring in some money. Wow, that just took things to a whole new level. Let me stop this. Wow. I just took a small MP4 file, like as in one that was 4 minutes long as opposed to 24 minutes long or 34 minutes long, and tried to open it in GoldWave, and I'll be darned if that machine did not decompress it and open it, and now I'm working on it. I've saved it as a WAV. I'm gonna actually cut out some things that I don't really want, and I bet the large MP4 file will turn into a tiny MP3 file. I got a huge folder full of MP4 files. It makes me wish I didn't have to send my computer back. But I don't want to postpone it because, I mean, I want to get this taken care of. Makes me wish I had a backup computer. Technically, I suppose I do have that old-ass laptop sitting there. I don't know if I ever downloaded GoldWave onto that, though. I guess I can dig it out and plug it in and try to breathe the life back into it and find out. This is part of the reason why I don't use it very much, is because it is slower than a half-dead snail. One thing about GoldWave versus editing something on my hold on. One reason why, even though I love GoldWave and I'm impressed with GoldWave, I am still going to use my other MP3 recorder and edit things together using that sometimes, is going to be because if I want to put a sound effect someplace, that is something I have not yet learned how to do in GoldWave. Now, will I ever learn it? Probably. But am I in a mad dash to learn it, and is it just as easy to use the method that I've been using all this time until I learn it? Yeah, probably. Alright, let's power this thing up, try to breathe some life into it, and see if I have GoldWave on this machine. While I'm waiting for that, I might as well go back and work on this some more.
Professional Start button to open. Press Enter. Windows installed new updates. Your computer was restarted to finish installing updates. Click to see which updates were installed. New updates are available. Click to install them using Windows Update.
Okay. This is going to take forever to edit out all that blank shit. But anyway, go to the desktop.
Windows M, desktop, folder view, list view, not selected, recycle bin, 1 of 50.
Shh, it's not there.
Menu, search box, edit. D-double-A-V-E. Enter. Items view, multi-select list box, search again in, toolbar, libraries button to active. Tab, toolbar, desktop, split button to activate, tab, search box, edit, Goldwolf, type in text.
I don't think I have it on here. Yeah. I suppose I could see about...
Windows M, desktop, Internet Explorer. Enter.
I could see about trying
Internet
to download
Explorer.
it, but I download another demo version just because.
Google.com, you're not connected to a network.
Okay, pull that shit on me.
Select the system tray icon dialog. List box. PCs. Support. Speakers. Not connected. You are currently not connected to any networks. Speak. Not connected. You are currently tab. Right single click button to tab. Left single click tab. Left double click tab. Cancel but tab. List box. Not connected. You are currently not connected to any enter. Context menu. Troubleshoot problems. Open network and sharing center. Oh, enter. Leaving menus. Control panel network and internet network and sharing center. See full map link. View your active networks. You are currently not connected. View your active enter. Menu. View available network. View your active networks. You are currently not connected to any networks. Connect to a network link. Enter. Menu to move through item view and connecting.
There we go.
Connected.
Okay.
Windows MI.
You know it's an old ass computer when you have a switch that will turn on and off, basically turn the Wi-Fi on the computer on and off. I should tape it in the on position. I guess it got bumped and got turned off.
Windows MI.
Come on.
Alt tab. Control panel network and internet network and sharing center. Alt F4. Windows M. Desktop. Excel. Internet Explorer. Enter. Region search edit. Type in text. L-O-A-D. Space. G-O-D-double-A-V-E. Enter. Search results heading level 2. Heading level 3 link Gold Wave V6 download. Enter 1%. Download Gold Wave V5.7020131024. 8 MB primary server visited link. Menu. Alt F4. Shut down Windows dialog. Select the option that best describe. Shut down. Enter.
I tried to download this. It is not on here. I tried to download it. This is why I say I don't know how to download programs. There's this awesome thing. I've learned this great new thing, and I've got to send my computer back. And I could dig out this backup, but I don't have. Even a demo version would be okay in this case. I am not buying 2 separate licenses, but even the demo version would get me by until I could get my computer back. But I don't have it downloaded on here, and I don't know how to download it. I just tried. I don't know how to do it. This is going to take forever and a day to edit, but it's okay. Alright, I'm going to wrap this up by saying that, yes, Goldwave can take MP4 files and convert them to MP3s, or at least the ones I've worked with. And if there's a difference in sound quality, it's not severe enough to not do that. I love Goldwave. I did go ahead and get the license. The license is only $45. Definitely worth it for 1 license. Now, if you want to get 2 licenses because you got 2 computers, then you start looking at $90 and upwards. $45 per license times however many computers you want to put it on. It can get pretty pricey if you want to deal with multiple computers, but that's why I only bought the one, and I will not be buying the license for the other. Looks like I might be able to get somebody to download the correct program file onto my backup laptop, so at least I'll have something. And I'll just have the demo version at that point, but that's enough to get me through until I get my good computer back from repair.